And the team that I'd be worried about would be WSB as well as OR, because they've got to make a long way and they've got to watch their 6 as well.
GT.
Oh.
They're just super paranoid. But these nades, they're starting to hurt them. WSB losing out on the man number. They're dropping down slowly and steadily in shadow. He pushes up close and personal. The DBS this time, it's making it count. And just like that, Shadow, he fights the closure. What an incredible moment that was.
That has been brutal. The man, you can potentially say he 1v4'd them. He was the only man from Gujarat Tigers who finished off the entirety of WSB. So that's not exactly the way you would want things to end. But for the other side, Orangutan now just trying to stop the push from OR, who want to get themselves inside that circle. They've got to be wary of that. Plus also Hydra, who are just down towards the southwestern part. And you've got Ico Souls. Ronnie still surviving. I mean, please don't be Drax.
Oh, Ash.
Spray God.
Yeah, just waiting for the right moment to strike at this point. OG, they know patience has to be the key, and that's why you see them being so patient. If you find the right moment to strike inside of the lobby, it will all work out well for you. And OG, they're now starting to march up close and personal against the last man of Hydra. Utilities being tossed in that house. They know exactly where Spray God is too. The barrage continues, but OG, they've got it all on their name. OR can be the only biggest thorn in their way.
That is indeed true, but I really do not like the position of OR. They've only got this one compound playing in a 2-and-2 split, a few utilities, and they'll be flushed out. But on the other side, Orangutan, they've got AK watching their back. You've also got Ash for that off angle to try and create some more space for OG and get that area control, get that real estate. On the other side, for OR, all they've got is those utilities. They've got to find the knock inside the building.
OR, they're trying their best to create some
Ronnie,
space.
no.
And Ronnie is still alive from IQ Soul. You can hear the crowd just cheering for Ronnie. Because for Soul, this can be a good ending.
It is. They're at 4th already.
Exactly. AKOP, a little bit in the outskirts. Now the wall of death starting to close up. Backs against the wall. And what was that? Admino blows himself up. What a big blunder that was by OR Esports. They crack under the pressure, and for OG, this might just be the chicken dinner that they needed. Just being handed to them on a silver platter. But it's still a 1v3. The man's back up on his feet. So the chances for OR Esports to get the chicken dinner back in their hands are revived.
A team with 8 finishes already. A blunder that goes unpunished. Spray God with only 3 of the first aids remaining now. Should be taken down anytime soon, but these nades are going to be crucial. Orangutan, the team that has got the biggest compound and that have got as much real estate as possible, some decent utilities, but these flushes need to be on point, but the nades just do not land, and we see a rotation coming in from OG.
OG, they're trying to pull something out of the box. They're trying to do something out of the ordinary, but still, Robin, he catches the first man. 2 players from the outskirts just wrapping around. OG, they're being wrapped up, and it's not a good news. There's a chance they might just be suffocated to death. And the 2 players from OG, they're getting pushed onto, but they're replied back in quite a great fashion. OG, they need to showcase some patience. That should be the game plan. Flashes out too on the faces, and AKOP, he got for the initial peek. A little bit of left and right, and he gets the knockout. One more man to go. It's a 1v2, and AKOP looking to push up close and personal, and he finds that connection.
Hydra, and then focus their attention on OR. I love it.
Exactly. Ladies and gentlemen.
As Shadow is brought down to his knees, but another couple of teams in the outskirts. Team Forever up against Hydra, as Hydra again will be finished off. As soon as I take the name, they've been deleted from the lobby.
They indeed have been. Team Forever. Hydra officials eliminated from the game, and now that XT looks back towards Revenant Esports, they're always going to be too dangerous for these players.
That is true, and this feels so unfortunate, specifically for the side of Orangutan, who now have to deal with that blue. And AK will be taken down by the blue itself, so It was Revenant who were gatekeeping Orangutan and were able to finish all of them off. While on the other side, Gen XFM had their off angle, were able to take care of Hydra. But now this one Riz, that is being controlled by Gujarat Tigers. I would say it was pretty good until I saw the circle. This is right in the center, and it's not a good area. Most of the teams will be playing on the edges.
OR Esports. Them taking so many shots against the foes. Also finding one man. That is quite massive. And the barrage of bullets, it just keeps on continuing. Hellfire against Revenant Esports, and this time it cannot be avoided. The players of IQ Soul 2 now starting to move up slowly and steadily. Gujarat Tigers on top of the hill. IQ Soul, they spot out the players. Wixkey's quite chipped up low, needs to back away. And yeah, Gujarat Tigers, they're starting to lose out their grip on this fight. While Team Soul, they're just trying to suffocate the players of Gujarat Tiger to their death. Wonder Turn was there. Shadow, he can still turn the tables in this fight. Tosses out the utility on the opposite side. It's going to be the smoke grenade. It blooms up, and Shadow, he clutches it out. Shuts down both the players in the front. Gujarat Tigers, they're here to make some stark statement. If Shadow clutches it, it might just be a massive clutch, but he gets taken down in the end. The hopes and dreams, they get shattered for Shadow to make the clutch against IQ Soul.
But Knuckle, the man, the savior, could potentially get the best companion for the game, as he'll be giving 2 crucial revives to his teammates. He's the man who kind of always ends up surviving and helping his team out on the other side. OR as well. They've got to make a push up against the members of 5flix, who are now controlling a pretty solid position, I would say. Still on the edges, but can pose a pretty big thorn in the entry. But for now, OR as well, trying to gatekeep the members of IQ Soul. They've got a high ground, but it's not exactly the best position where you want to be at, because they are outside of that safe area. We're down to just the last 3 teams, and Soul's winning chances are looking really low. With 3 members, they've got to travel a long way, and I don't think so they've got a lot of smokes left.
Might just be too early to make the speculation, though. The prediction might come false. If Soul was able to cross on over, but yeah, the open terrain really just backfires against them. Knuckles still alive though, barely. Ronnie gets taken down too. As long as Knuckles alive, the hopes and dreams will be there, and Team Soul consistently placing themselves on the 2nd spot in this game. In the previous game, they ended things off on the 4th spot, and now in this game, they're looking for to end things off on the 2nd. And it's going to be Team iFlix to come out on top. None of us expected Team iFlix to take that one home, but they still do somehow. Unfortunately for Soul, the zone just did not.
More seconds, 15 let's just say, but AK has been knocked down. As Blind also will be taking their fight against iFlix on the other end, but Mavi wants to try and find the pick onto Vizjord. A reposition comes in, but Vizjord will come out on top. Orangutan are just not stopping. But they've lost a couple of members. They're not coming out unscathed, Necro.
Yeah, but still the amount of money they've made with those elimination points is insane.
Calculate.
A lot of money already wrapped up. They've got so much cash rolled up in their bank now. Equinox behind the players of Team Forever, looking for the right moment to strike. The Snake is primed up. He's going for the med strat in the blue, and now Equinox, he does find the sight lines on the player in the front, but Team Forever, they turn around and they slap him in the ground. They put him 6 feet under in the coffin. Even God's reading the elimination feed. They're going to wipe out the entirety of Team Soul.
That's what you need to see. Manya fires in a few extra shots, but Soul would also have to go in for their repositioning. They're way too out.
Oh my God. Team Soul just moving around. OG, they're looking like the unstoppable freaks of nature. 12 eliminations wrapped up. Indeed, they're just proving the competition unparalleled. Blind Esports, they're still up and alive. There's a big ray of hope for Blind Esports to close this game out. Hydra, 3 players sitting right in front of us, but they're quite exposed. They're in between of all these teams that you see in front of you. Entity, there's also OG, IQ Soul, Blind Esports, and Team Forever. And if everyone starts to close on up slowly and steadily, Hydra will be pincered.
But as of now, they start things on a solid note. Get one person down, and that's his power from Aiku Soul. So they'll be pretty worried about it, maybe. No, it's not his power, it was someone else. Manya as well out there in the open. Blind gets one. Oways from Team Forever has been taken down to his knees. It's only down to Omega and Frog, but the burst of vehicle is all that Blind needs to get those eliminations.
Orangutan. Blind Esports. Solid spray. Another man in the front. Duo OP gets caught too. Orangutan, unfortunately, they have been eliminated with 12 finishes, but that's still a nuclear performance being dropped by them. And Blind Esports, a constant barrage of bullets now up against the players of Entity Gaming. It's really going to come down to the circle. And unfortunately, even Entity, they need to move inside of the circle, including Blind.
Oh.
Starboy's the only man who's found his foot.
He can really play as a massive spoiler for Entity if he really wants to. Some crossfires being set up, but Entity will be trying to fire a few shots against the members of Blind. Only a couple of members there, so the numbers advantage is for Entity. But they've still got to worry about all the prime positions that were out in the open. Hydra has been taken out, so that's not going to be any concern. But still a 3v2 situation. We have seen multiple times how Blind is so much capable. In terms of positioning, I still think Blind has the better one.
But it's still the man advantage in the hands of Entity Gaming.
True.
And that's what matters the most. Entity, even if they do play for the trades, it's all going to be good in the hood for them. Blind Esports, unfortunately for them, one man's all the way out in the blue. And Skips is the only man inside of the circle. So technically it's a 1v3. Unless Hirsch from the back line's able to provide some good support. But Skips, he finds Picard with that beautifully placed nade. Gumla Boy shuts down the man in the back line. Entity Gaming for them. This entire thing might just come crashing down. A 1v3 upcoming from Skips. It is definitely possible. Skips goes for the white peak, but gets caught by Entity Gaming. And it's Entity finally to strike back.
Absolutely brilliant performance coming in from Entity. The team was kept quiet for a couple of games.
Yeah.
Show me the replay.
AKOP, that was insane, but Sombrach through the smoke. Good fight.
Confirmation. Unfortunately, that's not. This is going to receive at the same time, though. He'll just try to survive.
Oh my God.
iFlix.
So many third parties happening. Classic Sandhawk for you, ladies and gentlemen. Team iFlix from the top, just claiming that final point. Entity Gaming, even they've been eliminated on the 11th spot. But what OG pulled off in that previous game, it was insane. We need to look at this replay and find out how exactly Ash clutched it out. A 1v3 that came through from this man. And he just strike down the entire team. It was a 1v4?
Yes.
Oh my God. No way.
Man is just insane. Fragging IGN.
You cannot even call it a heroic play. That was a godly play right there.
Don't fight OG.
Literally just don't. In a 4-on-4 fight, you just do not stand a chance to come out on top. And iFlix, within a blink of an eye, even they get eliminated. Orangutan still in the back line. Somehow this man is just going for the Met strat. He took down the entirety of Aiku Soul, and he should have a decent amount of Met, so he can keep on going for the patch-up.
He only has 5 or maybe at max 4 remaining.
Did he loot all the bodies, though?
I don't think so, yeah. He might not have, so.
Exactly.
He'll potentially have a few extra meds for himself. On the other side, Revenant would also kind of go for the exact same thing. How does OG manage to get 8 eliminations even in this game?
I don't know.
They're unstoppable.
They just have had something else for lunch
Breakfast
today. But hold on, Hydra. They dive inside of the lava, and they instantly get melted. The pit of lava was too deadly for Hydra. They could not withstand the amount of damage it inflicted on them. And now Team Forever, Omega just shooting the toes of the players in the front, pulls himself back once again inside of the cover, pulls out the nade, and Omega should be able to find an easy 2-piece. The nade's being tossed to perfection. It's being cooked to perfection once again. The confirmation flows up. Beautiful step from Omega. Fury up close and personal against Skillful from Genix FM. But one single shot with the DBS will seal the deal.
This potentially could be the game Team Forever was looking at. We're down to just last 5 teams remaining. And I think so Forever are in a solid spot. Because you look at any other team, they've lost the members. OR just down to 3, Blind 1, Kemin 1. And we're now in the top 4 itself. Team Forever should get this chicken dinner as long as they do not mess a lot of things up.
Kemin Esports Fury isolates himself in that shack, but he's also taking damage because of that Molotov.
True.
But he luckily patches himself in the nick of time. Team Forever, they've got all the 4 players alive. OR can only be the team that will be the biggest thorn in their way for this entire chicken dinner. If OR is able to shut down the team in the front in the name of Team Forever, then things can definitely be quite dicey.
True. I was loving the few numbers that we were seeing on our screen with Team Forever 4 alive, 44.44% chance, but now it has been increased to 50, as we did see Fury going out. The likes of OR, oh my goodness, that nade should do the trick. Blind has also been taken down. It's down to the last 2 teams now, but a good spray down coming in from Zab, but a good return fire.
Oh my God, Zab knocked out. Not a good news for the players of OR Esports. And now it's taken down to a 2v4, but Pro replies back. The young guns, it's time for them to shine and showcase their reaction times on point. Team Forever looking to push up close and personal. Flock pulls out the nade, is going to go for that 2K, tosses the nade perfectly, and he might just find the second kill, but he doesn't. Pulls out the Molotov, burns the ground inside of the house, but he's still not able to wrap his head around the players in the front. Elimination point still up for grabs. Omega just jiggling around that corner. The window is really now starting to be a big discomfort for the player of Team Forever. Omega gets the first, but an instant trade from OR Esports that returns them back inside of the game. Team Forever, they lose out on their chance to get the 50K in the bag.
That was such a solid game coming in from the side of OR. Down, and that is not a good news for the side of WSB. His Powers nade should do the trick, maybe not. He wants to try and find one more person, getting right and low enough. He's going to be taken down. That should be about it. Yes, it does the trick. Yes, Power will pave the way for his team to move forward. But look at Oways. Look at his off angle.
Yeah, Oways, he's indeed got that off angle, as you mentioned. Went for the spray. Unfortunately, was not able to trace it perfectly enough. Team Forever, they're in a big sandwich situation. Mafia and Oways, the last 2 glimmer of hope alive for Team Forever. What can they do, though, when there's nade sailing in like that from Aiku Soul? There's also WSB on the sideline, so Aiku Soul need to watch out from that team. But even Revenant from the backlines, they're getting pounced on by Carnival Gaming. So many fights happening at the same time. So many third-party situations brewing up.
That is indeed true. Oways was taken down. It's down to just Mafia, who is sandwiched in between, just as you said, Aiku Soul as well as Carnival Gaming. But Soul slowly creeping forward. There's a big smoke wall that's going to block any kind of vision from Anuj. Omega as well, way too far back. Should be finished off. Just about time. He was down on his knees already. Akshat and Hector. The precarious spot themselves. Ronnie. He can find the opportunity maybe from that nade.
He can. The nade's actually tossed to perfection. And Hector knocked out Aiku Soul. Out and over, the chances for them to come out on top inside of the game, they've been revived. A 3v1 against CG, and Akshat left to clutch it out for them. Tosses out a couple of smokes, shrouds himself and his teammate in that, and now will try to stick the revive, so Hector might just be back up on his feet. For Aiku Soul, this will be a big problem. They let him go for the revive. If they wanted, they could have made the push.
But where will Carnival escape? That's the question. They don't have a lot of smokes left. There's WSB as well, who are being kept busy. But for now, Anustopi just returns the favor to Aiku Soul.
Oh, Soul now starting to get griefed. And it's WSB Gaming to shut them down completely. But then they get third party from the sidelines. Aiku Soul somehow being saved unintentionally by the opponents. And Carnival Gaming, for them, the game's now starting to crumble down. It's not good. Top 3 teams alive, ladies and gentlemen, as WSB has been eliminated from the game. For Team Forever, this will be an important affair. And Carnival Gaming, they've still got 2 players up. especially the man on the top. He had such a vital role to play in this entire scenario. Even Team Forever collapses, and now it's all down to Ronnie in a 1v1 against Omega. Omega, a man who pulled off a 1v3. He got a 3K against Godsreen, so Omega's definitely feeling himself. But even Ronnie, he's playing this one quite cheeky. He's just going for the peekaboo. Now Omega finally spotted out in the open, and Omega as well is not going to fall prey to the opponent just like that.
Zone!
It's way too close for comfort. As you mentioned, even the Wall of Death is starting to move up. And Ronnie, he pulls out the DBS, makes the push happen against Omega. The first shot missed, and this might just be the revival for Omega to come out on top. And it is! It's Carnival Gaming's Omega going massive, going nuclear in that previous game. And keeping the hopes and dreams alive for his team to come out on top. And Omega, oh my God, Carnival Gaming. This was such a desperately... Not sure how safe that's going to be.
It's not going to be safe at all. Not even for Global Esports, as they were taken down. And Revenant, they also need to make their own rotation, but they'll be caught between a couple of teams.
Just got the vehicles though, so that's a good news.
But it's an open area. It could be straight down from multiple directions, just like I was talking about.
Whiffed. Opportunity missed. And now iFlix, they're getting pounced on by the entirety of Revenant Esports. They're out on top like vultures. And yeah, Revenant Esports just a couple of inches away from actually devouring their prey in the front. Moksh, the only man left alive for iFlix, the last glimmer of hope. All Revenant needs to do is play the patience game, and that's what they're doing.
Yeah, Crypto could potentially be picked up, but this nade could be disastrous.
My God. It's done. iFlix eliminated from the game. Top 6 teams alive, from which Revenant Esports is one of those. This final game, a lot of teams were desperate, including Godsreen and Revenant Esports, and they're actually doing quite a great job in this one.
God.
Orangutan, for them, it's a mode down, and Godsreen, as soon as I say that they were desperate, they needed this, and they're looking good, it all just comes tumbling down.
Orangutan has just been one step ahead of almost all those teams out there, and look at the covers that they've created for themselves. They're dead in the center, and the next zone will be forming onto them. That's almost 100% surety. If not in the center, at least on the edges, they would be in it. And God's Reign, they took the compound that Orangutan left. Here we go, yet again another circle, and it should come down to OG versus Kemin if Kemin win the fight against Hydra Starboy.
Oh, but keep this thing in mind, Starboy's in the back, and he might just have the striking point, the striking advantage that's needed, and he can play the spoiler in the fight itself. Starboy patches himself up, just waiting for the right moment to pounce. And if Starboy does find the opener against Kemin Esports for OG, this will be a chicken dinner gifted to them. But even
true.
OG, they need to deal with the last man of Godsreen. That's why they cannot play too confidently. They cannot play too freely. Shogun is keeping them in check. But considering the Wall of Death is going to move soon too, so even Shogun needs to move up.
That is indeed true. He should be taken down, but Starboy's position, is it noted, is the question. Phantom, he seems to be totally unaware about that. He's moving out in the open.
That is true. Starboy moving slowly and steadily. As you mentioned, it looks too risky. And Kemin Esports, 2 players alive.
Jeez.
Phantom and Fury, quite low. Oh, now this is starting to get too awkward. It's the waiting game.
So, if in case this zone forms a little bit of the outside, Kemin Esports should have the advantage because they've got the high ground. If it exactly stays on top of both of these teams, I still feel Kemin should be the one who've got to move their angles. But again,
now,
yes.
Keep this thing in mind. Starboy is still in the back.
Yes.
I think so you forgot completely about that. And if Starboy finds even a little glimmer of the players, and if he strikes down even one of the players from Kemin Esports,
Phantom.
that'll be the exact confirmation they need.
Okay.
OG, they're trying their best. Now they're desperate considering the Wall of Death is also closing in. Shogun's still in the back lines. And hold on, even Shogun can actually play the spoiler against OG.
Yes, exactly.
It's vice versa.
No.
But no, he gets spotted and snuffed out instantly. And as I mentioned, Starboy's got the advantage. And he finds the striking point. The right moment to strike. He does strike the player before Kemin Esports. It's way too late in the hood. They will be taken down. Phantom being the last man, he does not stand a chance against 3 players off the Apes. And they eat him alive. It's the Apes once again to close things off. They started the day on a great note, and they're going to end the day on a fantastic note too.
And that is when they did not even have Trigger. They lost him so early on, down south on that military base. Just a 3-man squad.